The Network Monitoring feature in Operations Manager 2016 allows you to identify issues that originate at the physical network layer. This functionality, combined with the typical Operations Manager monitoring at the application and operations system, provides a full solution for managing your IT infrastructure. In this video, we're going to take a look at the overview of network monitoring and Operations Manager 2016, understanding the network discovery phases, along with configuring network discovery. Operations Manager lets you discover and monitor a wide range of vendor network devices, and it monitors any network device that supports the Simple Network Management Protocol, or SNMP. Microsoft has published an Excel spreadsheet with the list of network devices that supports the extended monitoring capabilities of Operations Manager, and currently this list contains more than 800 devices based on the object ID, the device type, the vendor, the model name, and whether or not the processor or memory are monitored as a part of the extended monitoring function. If you follow this URL that I typed in, the Microsoft.com download details 51219, if you follow that URL, you will have the ability to download and view this Excel spreadsheet. I've downloaded it, so let's just take a look at it. You'll see that the Excel spreadsheet, it actually opens up to this README page. So I'll click on that README tab, and it just gives a little information about the network devices with extended monitoring. If you click the Device tab, you can see a list of devices and vendors that are supported for processor and memory monitoring. And just scroll down to find your particular device. And as you can see, you can monitor network routers, switches, firewalls, load balancers. So there's also multi-device support. Now, if your device is not on this list, then it would be added as a generic network device, meaning that Operations Manager can basically monitor the up or down scenario for whether that particular port is available. Operations Manager can discover and monitor network devices that use 3 different versions of SNMP, SNMP version 1, version 2C, and version 3, along with the standard support for IPv6 and IPv4. Now, to provide support for IPv6, whenever you do a discovery, you have to do a recursive discovery, and that IPv6 device has to be connected to an IPv4 device. To enable network discovery, you have to create a discovery rule within the Operations Manager console. Now, when you create this discovery rule, you'll assign a specific management server or gateway server to run the rule. This is because only one discovery rule can be run per management server or gateway server at one time. Now, you can choose to run the discovery rules automatically on a schedule or just run them manually. You have 2 types of discovery rules, either an explicit network discovery or recursive network discovery. When you perform an explicit discovery, you configure the rule to explicitly discover based on an IP address or the FQDN of that device, that particular network device. Also, with the recursive network discovery, you're going to perform a network scan, and then the discovery is going to attempt to find any explicitly mention or specified device, and it will also, using that particular device, address routing protocol or the ARP table or its IP address table or topology. It will actually perform or grow a network map that presents all of the available devices for you to monitor. Now, any combination of SNMP version 1, version 2, and version 3 devices can be discovered in a single discovery rule, but the SNMP version 3 devices can only be discovered by explicit discovery or by being explicitly specified in a recursive discovery rule. During any discovery, credentials are required to ensure that there's access to that particular device, and these credentials are stored in a run as account, which are mapped to a run as profile. Now, the run as account for SNMP version 1 or 2 is basically that backdoor password for that device, which is the word public, all lowercase. For SNMP version 3 devices, you have to configure a unique run as account that lists the username, the context, the authentication protocol, authentication key, privacy protocol, and privacy key. And once those run as accounts are created, they're associated with the run as profile. Now, whenever you install Operations Manager, two run as profiles get installed. The SNMP monitoring account run as profile for SNMP version 1 and 2 monitoring, and the SNMP version 3 monitoring account profile, and that's used for SNMP version 3 monitoring. There are three discovery phases during the discovery. You have the probing phase. In this phase, the management server will attempt to contact the device using either ICMP or ping, SNMP using the SNMP get message, or both. During the processing phase, once the probing phase completes, Operations Manager processes all the information that's returned from that device and then maps out its components such as the ports, interfaces, memories, processors, VLAN membership, HSRP groups. And then lastly, you have the post-processing phase. And in this final phase, Operations Manager correlates the network device ports to the servers that the ports are connected to, inserts all relevant items into the operations database, and associates the run as accounts with each of those devices. When the three phases have completed and discovery is finished, the resource pool that you specified in the discovery rule will begin monitoring those devices. As with Linux Unix monitoring, for network monitoring, you should create a resource pool that's dedicated to monitoring these network devices, and that resource pool should have 2 or more management servers associated with them. Now, to ensure that network monitoring scales properly, you should use the sizing helper tool, but in general, for 2,000 network devices, that's approximately 25,000 monitored ports, that should be managed by 2 resource pools. For 1,000 network devices, approximately 12,500 monitored ports, that should be monitored by a resource pool that has 3 or more management servers. And for 500 network devices, approximately 6,250 monitored ports, that should be monitored and managed by a resource pool that has 2 or more gateway servers. In this demonstration, you will learn how to deploy a monitoring agent to a network device. Our first step in the process is to create a resource pool. From the Operations Manager console, click the Administration workspace and then click Resource Pool. And from our tasks, we're going to create a resource pool. We'll give it a name and a description. And click Next. And this is where you'll add the pool members. So just click Add, Search. You'll discover all of your management servers. You'll select the management server that you want, and I'll select each of these management servers and click Add. Click OK. Next gives you a summary, and then click Create and close. We will also need to create a Run As account, but we could do that during the Discovery Wizard. So if you click Discovery Wizard, and this time we're going to select Network Devices and click Next. And this is where you go in and configure your properties of your discovery rule and give it a description, select the management server or gateway server that's available, and your resource pool that's going to be used for monitoring the discovered devices. If you had not created a resource pool prior to running the wizard, you also have the ability to create a resource pool now. So once you're satisfied with everything, click Next. For these demo purposes, or this demo purpose, I have selected to do an explicit discovery. So Operations Manager will discover only the devices that I specify. Now you can also do a recursive discovery where you can discover devices that you specify and then all the devices that are connected to that device. That's how you would discover IPv6 devices by first discovering an IPv4 device. Click Next. On the default account screen, you can create a new Run As account or use an existing Run As account. If you use different SNMP community strings on different network devices, then you'll need to create different Run As accounts for each of those community strings. So just select Create Account. That brings up the Create Run As Account wizard. Click Next. We'll give it a name and a description. Once we're done, we'll click Next. On the credentials page, you'll just provide the community string for this Run As account for SNMP version 1 or 2 devices, and then click Create. Once the Run As account has been successfully created, you're sent back to the Specify the Default Run As account page, and from here you'll click Next. On the Devices screen, you would click the Add button to specify your device information. In the Add a Device window, you'll enter the IP address of the network device, select the access mode, the SNMP version, the Run As account, the port number, and then just click OK. So from here, I will put in my IP address, my access mode, and you see you have the option of ICMP and SNMP, ICMP or SNMP. The version, the Run As account, you can select the Run As account that you created, the port number, and then click OK. On this screen, you could have multiple selections. You can add multiple devices manually, or you can import a CSV file that lists all the devices using the header of the device IP, the Run As account, the SNMP version, the port, and the access mode. And under the Advanced Discovery settings, this allows you to configure the number of retry attempts, the ICMP timeout in milliseconds, along with the SNMP timeouts and the maximum number of devices to discover. Once you're satisfied with everything, just click Next. Oh, you also have the ability to go back in and edit any devices. If you had typed in the wrong IP address, you can go back in and click Edit. Now click Next. It gives a discovery schedule. If you wish, you can run this discovery rule at a schedule like every day, at a specific time every day, especially if you have a very dynamic environment and you have a lot of network devices. You can have this rule run on a schedule once a week. I will just select Run the discovery rule manually and then click Next. It gives you a summary of all of your settings. And from here, if you're satisfied, you can just click Create. On the completion page, you will get the screen, this network discovery rule was successfully created, and then run the discovery rule after the wizard is closed. That gives you the ability to run the rule immediately after you close the wizard, and just click Close. If you're discovering a large number of network devices, it could take several hours for this discovery rule to complete, so make sure that you give it enough time before you actually go in and confirm that your devices have been discovered correctly. If you select the administration workspace and then under Network Management, click your discovery rules, you can go back in and edit any of these discovery rules, and also you can actually see what phase that they're in, and this one is actually still in the probing phase. You can also select network devices once they're discovered, or network devices pending management. If a discovery did not return any results, they may show up under network devices pending management, and it'll tell you why it didn't discover those devices. And then finally, if you give it enough time, you go into monitoring, and see the particular device. And finally, if I click under monitoring and then whichever device, whether it's a router or a switch or a VLAN, you can select that and you'll see that that device is actually showing up as healthy, and the location, the model number, the IP address, and the vendor. This concludes our video on discovering network devices. Our next video, we'll look at exploring monitoring management packs.